Hello everybody, welcome to Shocking J. I'm your host Bren, and with me as always is Ryan.
Hello.
The two of us are Shocking J. We make podcasts and videos of anime and video games. So today will be Anime Static, and it's a podcast where we discuss the latest dubbed anime. Today's episode is Megalobox, episode 1, round 1, Buy or Die. Ryan, your thoughts on the pros?
Megalobox. It's about boxing.
Yeah, that's true. Which we actually learned what megalo means, right?
It means good. It means big.
Yeah, it means like huge, big, grand. All of those adjectives in one word. So
This is a very big show. No, it's not. It's
some bad attempts at puns, but
I don't know. But yeah, we watched the first episode, and yeah, it was cool. It was on. Yeah, we watched first episode on Toonami. This should hopefully be coming out very quickly after.
right, because this aired last night for us, right?
Yeah, we're recording
Saturday
this on
night.
Sunday.
Yeah, this is Sunday. It was aired last night. First episode. So we'll get two of these episodes in, and then a holiday break.
Yeah, there'll be a little
Toonami.
break, but yeah, we plan on watching this weekly, and then doing this weekly, hopefully.
Yeah. So
and
weekly
then,
uploads.
Yeah, we're just gonna be talking about Megalobox for now, because we want to get like on a weekly schedule. And we don't want to like start in the middle of something, and we're in the middle of a season right now, so.
Yeah, so
we'll start new stuff later, but we're just doing Megalobox for now.
Yeah.
Start with it, and then we'll go into other stuff too.
Yeah, man. So some channel updates, always good stuff. But looking at I'll start from the beginning, and I have a lot more good things to say about the show than bad things. I enjoyed it. I thought the first episode was honestly, really enjoyable.
Not a whole lot in the first episode. Just like just like a little introduction.
Yeah, a lot of intros to stuff. The protagonist is very much, it's like just him, there's definitely some
they're even his two his coach, and then the guy who made his gear or fixed his gear and motorcycle, but he's really the only character. I mean, there's the antagonist, but it's really just focused on him,
right? It's not like in my
Junk Dog.
Yeah, so Junk Dog, JNK DOG, and that's his ring name and his only name. Apparently.
He's a wanderer. The intro scene where it's him talking and asking questions and just a scene of the ground, and then him driving his motorcycle in between different blackout scenes with with the credits,
of credits and stuff. I thought that was super cool.
Oh yeah, I love stuff like that where they edit it really.
Yeah,
it's really stylish like that.
Yeah, it just sets the tone so well.
That was super cool
for not only the first episode but the whole season. So
yeah, we haven't seen or read and the previous series, kind of because this is kind of not a sequel but spiritual successor to Tomorrow's Joe or Champion Joe, one of those, all of those. It goes by many names. I don't know. But yeah, we don't know a lot about it, but this seems like a fine starting point.
Yeah,
you don't have to know all that backstory.
Yeah, but we are acknowledging it.
It exists.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about it. The end.
Right. But if there's some good recommendations, maybe we'll check it out. Definitely after this, or in between our episodes. So talked about the intro. The music is also pretty cool. I like that a lot. And then, the biggest thing to really...
Yeah, you were playing it before. Yeah, it's got cool music. It's got
it very much fits.
It's got its own little style.
Yeah.
Just the whole show.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of it's not really futuristic, but it's kind of I don't know, it's in the future clearly because they got robot little suits on.
Yeah.
But it's not there's nothing else really future tech about it. You know, there's no teleport. There's no spaceships. There's no they just seem like they're in just I mean, they were in slums kind of for part
Yeah,
of
they
it.
were in the outer slums of a big city.
But still, there wasn't really like any. So it's kind of interesting. It's just like it's in its own like little world, kind of.
Right. Which I know in looking at your notes, you talked about the. Let's talk about the art style of this. And
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's different. It's very different for something, especially that's like starting to air now. You know.
Yeah, it's got an older style to it.
Right.
And it's like I didn't look this up beforehand, or I just heard about this when it first aired in Japanese. It's like I think it's like 540, like P resolution.
Oh yeah. That's what you were saying.
I think it's like that, but yeah, you can very clearly tell. So they like animated it, and then they like, I think they just like output it in 540p, which is cool. You know, it gives it that old style like feel, but it also kind of just looks blurry at the same time. So it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of weird.
Yeah, it definitely adds to the style and tone of the whole show, which is cool. But, you know, there's a reason that not all shows, you know, do that. Because there are some,
it's a very unique
some drawbacks. So
yeah, I don't know if any other show's done a thing like this.
Yeah.
Really.
I mean, my first impression of the art style and the...
It's super cool, the art style. Like, the animation is super clean.
Oh, yeah. But my first... when I saw it, I was like, this looks like Cowboy Bebop style.
Yeah, it has that, yeah.
Like the way that the main character is drawn makes me think of Spike. Is that his name?
Kind of, yeah, Spike.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've watched the show, but yeah, just kind of like a very nonchalant...
It's almost a little more cartoony, though. I don't know. He's got like
right,
a rounder,
like,
rounder face and like eyes. But
yeah,
the style of like the scenery, like the location, like where they are.
Yeah.
Like everything else like looks very like realistic, and like it looks like that older style of animation.
Right.
Which is I think cell animation, where you know it's drawn instead of on a computer. Mm-hmm. Drawn on a computer.
Yeah, so it's cool, and even the like you said, the scenes, to me, like every scene feels worthwhile, and it's there for a reason, and it adds to the story, it adds to the character, or it adds to like the tone and the feel of the show. Yeah, well, it's I mean, I wouldn't say like super purposeful, but it everything adds, like every scene adds.
It has a purpose.
Right. So yeah, I guess you would say it is purposeful, but so I like that, because even in the beginning, when you're like you're trying to figure out what's going on and like put pieces together, you're still getting this overarching understanding of like the world that they live in, right? Because this guy comes from the slums, he boxes and
loses fights.
He throws fights for money,
fights, yeah.
You know, and then they announce this big boxing tournament for anybody, anybody, like high class, low class, you know, doesn't matter where you are as long as you can fight. And so
it's funny, he didn't seem, when they first like announced it, and I can't even remember, we just watched it, but it was like he heard about it, right? He was watching on TV.
Yeah.
And he like didn't seem like very interested in it.
Right.
But like it seemed like over the course of the episode, like the idea of it became more appealing.
Yeah, he starts to... You can get this sense from him that as a fighter, he's very upset, and he's unimpressed with the competition of the fights that he does in the quote-unquote underground.
He's throwing the fight.
He's throwing the fights, but he's a much better fighter, and so he gets... he gets almost bored with these guys, and so...
Yeah.
At the end, when there's this guy that he feels is like an actual challenge, he gets super excited.
I don't think they said his name. You're talking about the guy with like the champ or whatever they called him. Yuri. Oh, they did say his name. Okay, yeah. They didn't say. Yeah, Yuri. Yeah.
So, and he's the one that's like the company that's putting on this Megalomania, or
I don't remember what it's called.
Whatever.
The tournament.
Yeah. the big tournament. The company is putting it on. They have this champion who is Yuri, and then
yeah, see, they called him the champion. Is he the champion of like a previous tournament?
He's probably just like the world champion.
Oh, they're calling it champion. Like of what? Because they acted like this was like a new thing.
Yeah,
I think he's just like known.
I think it's just more of like an official tournament, right? So, as opposed to like he just won other tournaments, maybe.
I guess, yeah.
So that's my guess. Because he's known as the champ. It's very.
Yeah. He's got robot arms.
Very
robot arms. How could you lose to him?
Yeah, it actually looks like he's whipping out super high tech class stuff, and then the other dude's got.
You think those are his arms, or he's got like stuff on his arms? Like, do you think
it looked like his arms?
You think those are just robot arms?
Dude, probably. I don't know. It looked like it. And one of the guys in the crowd, you heard an audio bit of the guy's like, it looks like he's just has steel arms, and it's like it does. And then you look at Junk Dog, and you're like, he has some like rusty old Megaloboxing gear that everyone's like, what are you doing with that? You know?
It's just like
it's so drastic of a.
It's not as impressive, you know. It's just like, what is that? You know, it's just like steel rods and like.
Yeah.
Like I don't. What does it even do? He put like a battery in it. His coach did, and what is it? Does it like make you punch
harder? Yeah. Yeah.
Quicker?
It enhances your speed and
slow
strength.
motor on your elbow. But like I'm just saying, like his compared to like the guy compared to Yuri. Like, what is his doing? It's just, like, making him punch, like, harder.
Yeah, I think...
it's just, like, that's the same thing it's doing for both of them.
Yeah. So my
Well, we didn't actually see him fight. It ends when they're about to fight, but we didn't actually see Yuri fight.
Right.
So, like, who knows what those arms can do?
Who knows? It reminds me of...
Phase, I don't know.
the... kind of like in Iron Man, that first suit he builds in the mountains... is kind of like Yuri's suit, and then the one with the
is the one in Infinity War.
The Infinity War one is like Yuri's,
like a
yeah.
nanotech.
It's just like part of him, as opposed to this giant hunk of metal that he steps into. So, to me, that's kind of like I don't know the best picture of an analogy, I guess you would say. So, but yeah, so what you're talking about at the end, he gets. You know, they step into the ring and then the episode ends, which is a great cliffhanger. But the scene before that sets it up is Yuri is on top of a road with the president of the company that's putting on the tournament, and then they're out there. It's raining. Junk Dog is riding his motorcycle to like.
Are they like trying to like? Sorry, just an aside. Are they trying to like? Yeah. Like cheat? Like she's like, you have to win this. But are they staging the whole thing? Is that like not
I don't know
irony, but like the parallels of like they're still at the top, they're gonna throw the fight or not throw the fights, but they're gonna
I don't think they were gonna
have them what's the word? Not staged, but like they're just gonna guarantee that they win. Fix. That's what they fix the fights.
I wasn't getting it didn't seem to me like they were trying to fix it. As in fix fights. It seemed more to me like they were like this was the first piece in a grand scheme of plans that were leading to something bigger. It's like, hey, make sure you do the first bit where we win this tournament, because then it will, you know, from there it's like world domination or like, you know, I don't know, whatever it may be. You know,
like, is he supposed to know that Yuri works for that company? Like, isn't that weird? That seems what it's like. Like, isn't that... Would that not be controversial? Is it like, I don't know.
I mean, probably, but it's also... A company can champion a fighter, I guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just friends. I don't know. Maybe they're siblings.
Like bodyguard, that's what it seems like.
Maybe there's... I don't know. So, because we only know his first name, I think, which is Yuri, and we don't know his last name yet. Or maybe that is
Megalo,
yeah. We'll see. So there's still more to learn, but that's a good point. Maybe they are trying to fix it so they can.
It's the parallels. His name is Junk Dog, like the dog's fighting, and then they're gonna get to the final episode 13. They're both gonna fight again, and he's gonna have to throw the fight for some reason. I don't know.
Oh man,
I'm just already thinking ahead. I haven't been spoiled on this, but that's just my guess. I don't know.
Yeah, neither have I, which is cool. So I'm excited.
I saw
about
like
this.
the thumbnails, but I don't remember what they were. So
oh, okay.
I don't know anything. I assume I assume that's probably what we're leading up to, right? Is that fight or is like that tournament?
Yeah. Is it only 13 episodes?
Mm-hmm.
Like first season or just like everything that's out right now?
No idea if they're gonna make another one. I think they might. I don't remember enough. I could check right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah. But as to finish the bit of the story that leads up to the final scene is Junk Dog almost crashes into the lady who's putting on the tournament. Yuri's there with her. You know, they put up their guards to fight, and then they both have like this feeling of, oh, like this is a good fight. Let's do this thing. You know, Junk Dog runs his mouth. Yuri's like, I actually want to fight this dude, and he goes to the slums to fight him. So I think that's pretty. That to me is like, hey, the pace of the show is going to be good. Like they're not going to sit around and
Not
wait.
pulling their punches. I don't know. Oh, and I checked season 2. Who knows?
Okay. So,
maybe if it does well, but who knows?
Hopefully,
don't bet on it.
Yeah.
No guarantees, but yeah, I assume that's probably where that's where we're leading up. Is it gonna it's gonna be like his road to like?
Yeah.
Like, is he gonna have this gear the whole time? Do you think?
Yeah, I have a feeling he's
like
gonna have to
how much of
ditch
this is
it
gonna
for-
be skill versus equipment?
Well, that's the
premise.
That's the premise, you know, of like, and that's the dilemma,
idea.
you know, of okay, this is like the premier sporting entertainment in the world. Is this megaloboxing?
Does he
And
matter? It's all
you
for
see
entertainment.
Junk Dog's upset is like, and he talks to the dude in the first fight you see, he almost knocks the dude out, and he's like, without this gear, you're nothing, you know, and so you understand that Junk Dog gets what it is to be a fighter, you know, to be a boxer, and he's disgusted with the fact that people just put on gear and all of a sudden just be a quote unquote fighter
Because it's for
know?
Entertainment. That's what
Yeah.
that's what that was. At least
Right.
that fight was just for betting and
for betting and for I mean, yeah. So he's
So that was I'm just saying that was the point of like that scenario, but like in an actual tournament, like I don't know.
right,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it's the same thing. And
Yeah.
it's like in sports today, of you just get this physical specimen of a person where they're just really big and tall and strong, and you just put them into a sport, and they're like, oh, yeah, I can do this because I'm bigger, stronger, taller than other people. So, I mean, there's already like some truth to it, but then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I can just give you expensive gear, and you can be whatever.
Parallels.
And you
there.
can be that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's kind of cool to see that Junk Dog is like fighting against just the like pay to win scenario, I guess, of like gaming. It's like just pay to win, you know?
Yeah, he's going free to play.
Yeah, he's going free to play.
It's a pay to win game, and he's going free to play to the end.
Yeah.
Or he gets better gear. I don't know.
I think at one point he will. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm like torn of, okay, what do I want him to do?
Honestly, I mean, we haven't even really seen him fight yet.
Right. We've seen
Like,
him throw fights.
We saw him kind of fight, but like not really.
We saw him like rope a dope and then like let him get just absolutely smacked.
This is really
in the
just like an
face.
intro, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So looking forward to an actual fight. Hopefully next episode will be
Oh, yeah, right?
be cool. And you know, speaking of, so I think our biggest con of this was, okay, it's a typical underdog story, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's not like, it's cool, but it's not like super original, you know? It is
Right.
very just like, it's familiar.
yeah, boy from the slums has to fight his way to the top.
Doesn't make it not
Super
cool.
outmatched. Yeah. Right. So, yeah, very true. But with this,
Yeah,
with the show in particular,
I think it will. Like, I think it'll, like have its own story. You know,
I hope so.
I think it'll be original.
yeah, and to point out our con of, you know, that's kind of our biggest con in terms of like pros and cons and what we liked, what we didn't like. You know, and hopefully, I think you're right. It will be a little bit more unpredictable and non, like just generic underdog story. And so my hope for the next episode is
It
not
has a message.
is not that he just gets wailed on and then has all these self-doubts and then has to go through this whole like soul searching and then has to like come out on. That would be super stereotypical.
That was kind of how it started. Is like, it wasn't like he didn't say like at the very very beginning. He's like, I feel like I'm stuck.
Right. Which is cool, and that's part of my why I love this character so much is even from the beginning you're like, this guy is super real, and you already know his dilemma. He's torn on what to do.
It introduces
and who to be.
you with a familiar story, and then goes in a new direction, and then
yeah. So his character archetype and the insight into the character, I think, is already just very well done. And I hope the plot line doesn't turn super generic.
It's interesting. He's kind of like, he's pretty arrogant, especially with like the scene on the road.
Yeah.
You know, he's very just kind of like,
he's like, who are you?
He's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, he
know?
doesn't care that those people are like the ones running the tournament, and he just almost runs them over and then gets mad at them.
But like it feels like he's a jerk, but like it's kind of an act he puts on. You know, it feels like, I don't know. I could just be reading like, or just putting my own ideas onto him, but it feels like he doesn't really, like, it's just kind of like an act to him, you know, like he doesn't really want to be a jerk, but it's just like a tough face he puts on, you know, because he wants to be tough, so he like pretends to be tougher. I don't know. That's just like, that's the vibe I get. Like,
to me, or for me, I see it more of he's just really pissed off at the situation that he's in, and he's lashing out.
I think he just feels sick of it, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, doing this every day.
And he's just mad at whoever's in his way.
I want to actually fight.
Right. And that's the thing he keeps saying over and over again in the first episode. So, yeah, I'm impressed, and I like the show so far.
Yeah, it seems
Obviously,
cool.
we'll have to see.
12 more episodes.
12 more episodes.
See where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Like, you know, we mentioned it's kind of like, it feels kind of generic, but like it still feels like different enough, you know, or just like you know, unique enough to be like, oh, okay, this looks interesting, you know. It's not just like, it's not like we say generic, but and like it's not really generic, you know, like there are far more generic anime out there.
Right.
You just want like,
we're not putting on rose-colored glasses and just looking at the pros. This is...
I don't have rose-colored glasses. I don't own a pair.
Straight...
What's nostalgia?
Straight first impression of the first episode. And I'm glad that there's minimal cons. I was like trying to... like, what are we going to talk about, you know, for cons? I didn't really have any. Obviously, it's... Well, yeah, it is a little early to talk about in terms of...
there's not a lot to go on right now.
Yeah. But... that said, having a lot more positives to say than negatives, I'm impressed. And when the first episode ended, I was like, dang, dude, I want to watch episode 2. Like, I don't want to have to wait till next week. I want to watch it now. So they do a good job with the cliffhanger, and they do a good job with setting the tone, the music, the scenes, the characters, Junk Dog, and setting him up for the story is cool. So I hope to learn more in the next episode.
It seems like it'll be interesting to watch his journey.
Yeah, it definitely will. Cool. Well, with that, I think we covered everything. Those were any last thoughts from you, Ryan? I'm looking over my notes real quick.
Megalobox means boxing anime.
Boxing anime? Does it really?
It's gonna be no.
Oh.
No, I don't know. That's it.
Cool. All right. So next episode, hopefully they get some real boxing.
Round 2.
Yeah. What's it called? What's the next episode called?
I don't know. I can look.
Cool. Oh, something that I hope happens in the rest of the season is the continued character interactions between the different socioeconomic levels, like what was on the bridge in the first episode.
The rich and the poor.
The rich and the poor. To me, there's a lot of just like real raw emotion and tension and interaction
It really feels like there's a world here.
And worlds clash, and to me that it's just like an exciting scene when that happens. So hopefully there's more of that.
Megalobox,
Obviously there's going to be in the ring, but also outside of the ring as well.
Round 2. The man only dies once.
Man only dies once.
That's the next episode title.
These episode titles are awesome. Super cool.
Buy or die.
Buy or die.
Will you buy or will you die? Megalobox.
All right. So
I don't know.
this concludes the episode 1 discussion of Megalobox on Anime Podcast. Anime Static.
I think it's just funny to say Megalobox.
Megalobox. Yeah, it is kind of
sounds
funny.
weird. But it means it's something very serious.
It's a cool name. It's a little quirky, but it's cool. So, all right, everybody.
It makes me think of Mega Blocks.
Oh no.
Right? Like Lego, Mega Blocks. Right? That's what.
Yeah,
they're
I mean
called?
it's
like the off-brand of Lego.
yeah.
Megalobox. It's not Lego. I don't know. All right. That means we have to end it.
Okay. But yeah. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Feel free to like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the music, again, check out my buddy Jake Schmidt's music links. They're down below, and I think we'll have them on the screen as well. Next week, we will bring you episode 2 of our Anime Static discussion on Megalobox. So, same time next week.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. So, it'll be weekly now, and it'll be as soon as we can watch it right after the episode airs on Saturday night. All right, take care, and we will see you next week.